Okay, let's get it. We got a lot to get to. All right, shalom, brothers. Happy Sabbath. Shalom, sisters. Happy Sabbath to you all. It's been a while since I taught. The captains have been doing a great job teaching, and the officers also. It's been 2 months since I last taught. I timed it. Q&A does not count. It does not feed my desire to teach. All right, so y'all know how many have seen the videos before? I have one called it's called Love Check, Love Thy Neighbor. Who remembers that video? By show of hands. Love Check, Love Thy Neighbor. And then we had the second part. We had Love Check, the language of abuse. How many remember that? Okay. This is why most of y'all marriage jacked up. Okay. All right. So today we're going to do Love Check, Love Language in Marriage. Love language in marriage. You need to go back and watch the other one. The language of abuse. Stop cussing each other out. They missed that one. Love check, love language in marriage. So we're going to answer today, figure out what's your love language. Go to the Sabbath class and let's pull up the definition of marriage. Pull up the definition of marriage. Okay. Who I got back here for me? Joshua, Soldier Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's read those.
Marriage. The state of being united as spouses in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law.
So that means you have to have papers. Brothers, you ain't married unless you got papers with that woman. Sister, you ain't a wife unless you got papers with that man. You're a girlfriend or he's a whoremonger. By law, contractual. And it does not mean with a crayon and a piece of paper. You gotta have a seal of approval. Go back. Because I gotta bring it out because we've had that. We've had brothers get the marriage paper and then write his own contract on a loose leaf piece of paper and staple it to the actual marriage contract and say this is it.
On toilet paper. Yeah, that's what we call toilet paper.
That's real. That happened in here.
Hey, and then try to write her a bill of divorce by hand.
By hand.
On the backside of
the other paper. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, y'all. All right, so read the next one, B. Let's read B.
The mutual relation of married persons, wedlock.
So that's why, a lot of us younger back in the day, they used to say, she got babies out of wedlock. He got babies out of wedlock. I don't know if it's up north, but I know it's an old southern term. Having babies out of wedlock around here. That means you didn't have that contract between each other. Next one.
The institution whereby individuals are joined in a marriage.
Keep going.
An act of marrying or the right by which the married which the married status is affected.
Number 3.
An intimate or close union.
Marriage is an intimate or close union. Keep that in mind. Because a lot of married brothers and sisters be in the same house, close but far apart. Marriage is a close union. Give me the definition of love. Let's get that. The definition of love. All the links are in there. They should be already pulled up.
Love. A strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties. Attraction based on sexual desire. Affection and tenderness felt by lovers.
Okay.
Affection based on admiration, benevolence, or common interests. An assurance of affection.
Assurance of affection. Remember that. That's love. Assurance of affection. Assurance means it's guaranteed. If you love me, some affection's going to be behind that. Go ahead.
Warm attachment, enthusiasm, or devotion.
Warm attachment, enthusiasm, or devotion. This is love, y'all. Go ahead.
The object of attachment, devotion, or admiration. A beloved person, darling, often used as a term of endearment.
Like y'all say babe and all that stuff. My rib is what you say a lot of times in the truth now. Number 4.
Unselfish,
I like it. Unselfish what?
loyal and benevolent concern for the good of another.
That's love.
Such as the fatherly concern of God for humankind.
For Israel. Go ahead.
Brotherly concern for others. A person's adoration of God.
Okay, so go to the next definition of language.
Hey, you know what's heavy? That thing said loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyal. Y'all gotta be loyal to each other.
All of it gonna be brought out, Lord's will. Language. Let's get the definition of language.
Language. The words, their pronunciation, and the methods of combining them used and understood by a community.
Okay, go ahead.
Audible, articulate, meaningful sound as produced by the action of the vocal organs. A systematic means of communicating ideas or feelings by the use of conventionalized signs, sounds, gestures, or marks having understood meanings. The suggestion by objects, actions, or conditions of associated ideas or feelings.
Or feelings. Go ahead.
The means by which animals communicate. A formal system of signs and symbols, such as Fortran or calculus in logic, including rules by the formation and transformation of admissible expressions.
Number 2.
Form or manner of verbal expression. The vocabulary and phraseology belonging to an art or department of knowledge.
Let's see if it's a third one on there. Is it? Okay. Well, we don't need those. So language is basically how we communicate, right? So we got some definitions for marriage. You got love, language. As we've heard many times before, the foundation of every strong nation is a strong marriage, right? Go to Psalms 83. A strong nation has strong marriages. That's the foundation for building any nation. Right? Give me Psalms 83. Let's read 1 through 5. I don't know if we've ever attached it with marriage, but we're going to do it today.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Now here's the crafty counsel. Crafty counsel against thy people. Now remember, I just said the foundation of a strong nation is a strong marriage, right? So in the part of the enemies hating God, they took one aspect of making a strong nation of crafty counsel in marriage. Read verse 3 again.
Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
16, 17. Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They did what?
Cut them off from being a nation.
There we go. A strong marriage, a strong nation is strong marriages. So a part of that crafty counsel to cut us off from God is destroying the sanctity of marriage in the Israelite family. Man, woman. Now it's boyfriend, girlfriend. It's just, long time booty calls. Or what's that thing when you lived in the house so long? What do they call it? We call it shacking up, but it's a legal term.
Common law.
Common law. Right? The sanctity of marriage has been destroyed through visuals, right? Through the government. That's how they have cut us off from being a nation, through marriage. That's the main way. This is how you know Esau is crafty, and they study the book. The first way that Esau brought all of Israel down for the future to come of all mankind was what? He attacked what, brothers? Marriage. Esau ain't stupid. He knows what he's doing to destroy a people. Read verse 4.
Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Now, give me that in Willie Lynch. Yep, page 16. Let me see it. Let's start right here. Let's read through that quick because we're going to read that and that part right there. Willie Lynch.
The Willie Lynch letter. The
Now,
breaking.
here's the crafty counsel. Go ahead.
The breaking process of the African woman, page
Israelites.
16. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in this breaking process of the female nigger.
That's crafty counsel. We're going to go deeper into it. They didn't just get together and have a little 5-minute chit chat. They had long discussions, wrote it in letters, passed it down from generation to generation. Read on.
We have reversed the relationships. In her natural uncivilized state, she would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male. And she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring and would raise the female offspring to be dependent like her. Nature had provided for this type of balance. We reversed nature by burning and pulling one civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death.
So now is we reverse nature by we take the black man, the Hispanic man off the street and put him in jail for 10 to 20 years. We reversed it. She used to be dependent on him. Now she's dependent on us, the government. Read on.
All in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state.
What's that song?
I-N-D-E-D.
Yeah, what was his name? Lil Webby.
Oh,
No, it was
I
Lil
thought
Webby.
Boosie. Oh.
No, it was Webby.
I thought it was Boosie.
I-N-D-E-P-N-D-T. If you know what that means. Didn't Beyonce have a song too? What was that?
That's a Destiny Child.
Independent.
Sisters, who was it?
Hands up in there. They start coming out with those songs. All the single ladies. To the left, to the left.
Right.
That's all from a result of destroying your image. That's the crafty counsel. Destroy the image of the man, and these women ain't going to want to marry them at all. And then the man will turn around and make movies called I Could Do Bad All By Myself. Yeah. To further encourage the destruction of a nation. Read on.
In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles.
Go ahead. It's going to say.
For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent but physically strong.
There goes your NFL players, your NBA players, your whatever else you want to name. Your, what's this stuff called? Where they be in the octagon fighting? MMA. All of that, we physically strong and mentally weak, but the whole time we think we mentally strong until some problems come along and you revert back to the way that you was raised by your mama. You get emotional. A man raises his voice at you, you ready to fight. You step on your shoes, you're ready to fight. You get disrespected, you're ready to fight.
Yep.
You don't know how to use your mind and work problems out like God tells us to, Matthew 18, so you revert to the first thing you know how to do. Well, I'm about to get upset, and the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fight. That's how I cure my anger and aggression. Somebody got to be hurt like me so I can feel better.
And you know what? This whole letter shows that the so-called white man is adverse to God.
Yeah.
Because he set up a system and still keeping that same system till this very day.
Yep.
To keep us adverse to God. Single parents home, pushing divorce, pushing what's that?
You can't have
feminism. That's another tool.
You can't have a man in the house.
Can't have a man in the house.
Government assistance.
There you go. It's adverse to God. So they have created a system, maintained a system that to keep you adverse to God, separated from God.
Yep. Now it's just called policy.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offsprings to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You've got the nigger woman out front and the man behind and scared.
Now, you know how true that is today, that every chance that American media gets to push the woman in our community out in the front, they do it. I was watching Roland Martin the other day. They got something now called #BlackWomenLead. Because Obama, you know what Obama did? He got on some article interview and said that black women are better leaders than men. Whoa. Black women took it. Turn it down, man. Turn it down. Black women took it and ran, and now they hashtag black women lead. Wow. They had a whole segment of black women being better leaders than men. Politics and all of that stuff. Because they out there in front. The roles have been reversed. Now, the more independence and more money and the more recognition they get as being leaders out there, they ain't gonna need you. All they need you to do is give them a baby, and then you can leave. You can stay if you want to, but after that, you can leave. They really don't need you because they financially fit and taken care of, and they'll take their chances raising their kid by themselves. That's what that's gonna lead to. Go ahead.
You've got the nigger woman out front and the man behind and scared. This is a perfect situation for sound sleep and economics.
It's a perfect situation to destroy a nation. It's perfect to keep us on top and them on the bottom being servants. It's perfect. Is that it on that? Okay, yeah, that's all I wanted. Go to Genesis 3. Because from the beginning, God knew the importance of marriage. That's why he said this, Genesis 3 and verse 18.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 18.
Is that what I want? 2 and 18.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field.
No, that's it on there. I just needed that one. Said, I will make him and help me, because it's not good for us to be alone. A man being alone, his mind wanders. And especially today when you got a computer or a smartphone and you ain't got a wife, your mind is going to wander. And you're going to find yourself on websites you do not need to be on. And lotion in one hand and sin in the other. So it's not good for you to be alone. Not at all. It's not good for you to be alone. Nor is it good for that woman to be alone, because you read the next chapter. If she left alone, she'll listen to anybody. Jump up to verse 21.
Verse 21.
Yep.
And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
One of his ribs. Go ahead.
And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man.
Now, I'm going to stop right here. I don't want to digress too much, but we in St. Martin. I think it's St. Martin, and you know, the crazy Negro mind, God took a rib and made a woman. That is false. This is where, because you might not truly understand what's going on. St. Thomas, God created the sun, the stars, the earth, the ocean, everything in this thing. It is nothing for him to take a rib and make a woman out of it. That is light work to him. Light work. Read verse 22 again.
Verse 22. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
Woman. Go ahead.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
Read on.
And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
Now go to Proverbs 18. So that naked means they were not in the midst of sin. Because you read the next chapter, it said that she listened to the serpent, and they was naked. They committed sin. So that's what that means in verse 25, because a lot of people ask that question. So give me Proverbs 18:22. So a man and a woman, right, leave his own house. What does God say about that? Proverbs 18:22.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
So whoever, it's good. You brothers that are single, get yourself together so you can find you a wife. It's a good thing that you got one, so you won't be alone. You got somebody to talk to. You got somebody to cook for you. You got somebody to help you around the house. Build something. Instead of doing it all on your own. You got somebody to share that thing with. It's good that you got a wife. Read on.
And obtaineth favor of the Lord. Because
it's statistically proven, and all research says, you find you a wife, it helps you live longer. That's right. It helps you live longer. You find favor from the Lord, especially when she's a righteous woman like we got in here. She gonna make sure you eat some G-bombs. Right. Bring it out. Yeah. Make sure you get some greens on your plate, right? Go to Proverbs 14:1. So it's good that a man finds him a wife. Now, what's that wife? What should she do when she's found? Read that. Proverbs 14:1.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house.
So when that man finds you, now it is your turn to help him build that house. Help him build up his house. Help him build up his name. Don't tear it down. Don't make it no harder than it already is in captivity for him to build. You're a help meet. So part of a man's success is based on how wise of a woman you are. Read it again.
Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
That independent woman gonna pluck it down. She gonna destroy it. Go ahead.
She gonna split it in half.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she gonna do.
50-50.
50. I want half. That's what she gonna do.
That's heavy. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of thy life, of the life of thy vanity.
Now that's the thing we got to work on. Of a man finding a wife and then the wife helping him build the house. Now, in between that being together, you got to live joyfully one with another. That's the hardest part of marriage that we find in Israel, is living joyfully. You just there with each other. You just bound by the law. That's the word. You're in a marriage and you just bound by the law. That is terrible. You roommates, you need some counseling. If that's the mindset you got, you just bound by the law, go get some counsel, man. So you can live joyfully. What God has joined together. A man left his mother and father to live with his wife and cleave to her, and you to him, and y'all not living joyfully. You need some counseling. Read that again.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun.
So the Lord said, you might not have everything you want in this life, but one thing that I'm going to give you, you get yourself right, the one thing I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a wife. You might not have everything you want, but I'm going to give you a wife, I'm going to give you a husband, and that one thing you got, live joyfully with that thing. Make that the best thing make it as best as you possibly can. Because you might not hit the lottery like you pray for all the time. I'm not going to give you that. But I'll give you a wife that you pray for. I'll give you that husband you pray for. Now live joyfully with each other in between that because of this. Go to Job 14. Is that what I want on that? Yeah. Job. Well, jump down. Go back to Ecclesiastes 9 and read verse 12 before we go to Job.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net.
Now, we all heard about it here recently, right? Kobe Bryant just passed away suddenly. Him and his 13-year-old daughter on a plane. Left behind 3 other kids and a wife. Man knoweth not his time. That's why God tells you above, you better live joyfully because you don't know. Read on in verse 12.
And as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them.
When it falleth suddenly upon them. Now go to Job. That's why you got a wife, you better husband, live joyfully with him. Get yourself together. Study, pray, apply. Because we all got this is going to happen. Job 14, let's read verse 1.
Job chapter 14 and verse 1.
Then we're going to jump to 5.
Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble.
So the life that you have is few days. It's a few days upon this earth compared to eternity. It's only a few days. And I'll jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
So all of us have a specific month and a specific day that we cannot pass. That's one appointment you will not be late for. That's just thus saith the Lord. So in the life that is vanity, to us, he gave us a wife. He gave us a husband to make the best of it. Let me see right here what I got. Living joyfully all the days of our youth tends to be the hardest part. We want the husband, we want the wife, but the joyful is the problem we have. And it says, no doubt. So I said, no doubt there's going to be trouble in the flesh. So I ain't telling you to live in a movie where, you know, everything goes right and then you got your climax of one evil problem and you overcome it. No, it's going to be troubles in the flesh. But if you got so much trouble in the flesh that you can't stand living with that person that God has put you with, you got problems. I want to separate. We need to separate. If it's that case, somebody's not doing something right. Go to 3 Holy Children. Captain Gag gave me this precept earlier. 3 Holy Children in the Apocrypha. You get to the point of separation or leaving, somebody's not doing something right in that marriage to live joyfully with all the days of your youth. Read verse 7 through 9.
3 Holy Children, verse 7.
Let's see how God approached that with us.
In all things have we trespassed, and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them. Neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us. Wherefore, all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God.
So when it happened on us not doing what was right by God, he got rid of us. Somebody wasn't doing something right in the relationship. God got rid of us. Read it again. Read verse 9.
Verse 9. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world.
The most wicked in all the world. Go to Jeremiah 3 to show you that we married to him. All right, Jeremiah chapter 3. If you know what it is, get it. But when somebody's not doing something right, you got to fix the problem, or it's going to lead to just more destruction. Jeremiah 3, and let's read verse 14.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and 2 of a family, and I will bring you to Zion.
Now go to Jeremiah 7. So I went there to show you that we are married to the Lord. And look what the Lord did to us in this. Jeremiah 7, read 13 through 15.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 13.
Look how God did in the marriage with us. We didn't do what he was supposed to do, so he put us out. We had to go. Somebody wasn't doing something right. He did his part, but we didn't. But look what God says. Verse 13.
And now, because ye have done all these works, saith the Lord, and I spake unto you, rising up early and speaking, but ye heard not. And I called you, but ye answered not.
So in the marriage relationship that God got with Israel, he was talking these things out. He was calling out, let's sit down, let's talk, let's have some counsel. Let's reason is what it says in Isaiah. Let's reason one with another so we can fix this problem. Read on.
Therefore will I do unto this house which is called by my name, wherein ye trust, and unto the place which I gave to you and to your fathers, as I have done to Shiloh. And I will cast you out of my sight, as I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim.
So Ephraim got kicked out first, and then Judah went right behind that because we wasn't doing what we were supposed to do. Go to the article of why has marriage declined among black Americans. Ephraim, you thrown in there too. So somebody not doing something right, there's going to be problems in the relationship, right? Let's go to that. Go to that. Let's zoom in. We're going to read the first 3 paragraphs. Scroll down.
One of the most important social changes unfolding in the United States over the past half century has been the decline of the institution of marriage. A decline especially steep among blacks. In 1960, roughly 74% of whites were married, and the rate dropped to 56% in 2008. That is a big drop, but not compared to the plummeting marriage rate for blacks. In 1960, 61% of blacks were married in 1960, but by 2008, it was only 32%.
32%. Only 32%. Yeah, it's worse now. Go back to it.
Blacks also get divorced more often and remarry less frequently than whites.
So the statistics say a lot of times you got one shot. Black people got one shot to get it right. You don't get it right the first time in divorce, you're going to be stuck being that, he ain't a widow because he's not there. You're going to be that lonesome woman sleeping from man to man to man. You're going to be that lonesome man sleeping from woman to woman to woman. Go back to it. Go back to it. You got one shot to get this thing right.
Scholars and public observers worry because, after all, marriage has historically provided many benefits.
Now look at this. The scholars are worried about black people and their nation, right? Rito.
Individuals who are married enjoy better physical and mental health.
That's why God said you find a wife, you find favor of the Lord. You have less stress on your life. Read on.
Have more social ties and higher household incomes, accumulate more wealth, and raise children who do better in terms of health and social outcomes.
You don't have monsters in the house. Read on.
Than the children of unmarried parents.
Unmarried parents, you got monsters. That's what it said. You the one raising these monsters on the corner. Read on.
Because the decline of marriage has been so sharp among blacks, this group has received close scrutiny.
These ain't nothing but Negroes. They don't want to be married. They don't like it. They over-sexualize. That's all they want is sex. They don't care what comes from it. That's the close scrutiny we got. Black men don't take care of their kids. Read on.
Some analysts argue that black women, in particular, place little value on marriage.
Go ahead.
But much evidence contradicts this argument and suggests
So women do want to be married, right? Read on.
instead that social deprivations make it hard for black women to find suitable partners.
The jail cells, you know, the lack of jobs. You get out, you're a felon. You work at Checkers, you know. Those are some of the things, right? Now the new thing is, you know, you moving to Atlanta. I'm gonna just leave it like that. Go back to the article. You know what I mean. You move to Atlanta. Read that.
A values argument meets contrary evidence. In his 1965 research report, The Negro Family, The Case for National Action, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, a social scientist who later became a U.S. Senator, argued that high poverty rates among blacks were in significant part due to deformed cultural values. After difficult historical experiences, he argued, black women preferred matriarchal families and their values contributed to disproportionately high rates.
Okay, now look at this. Look at this. I want to see if y'all can tie it together. He said he argued black women preferred matriarchal families. Where would that start at? Where did that start at? We read it already. Where did that thought of them thinking that about black women start? Okay, matriarchal means that the woman leads. Okay. There we go. Okay, Benjamin, let's see what you got. Where did that start at?
Shalom. From the Willie Lynch letter.
Oh, back it up some. We can't hear you. Say it again.
From the Willie Lynch letter.
From the Willie Lynch letter. By destroying the image of the black man, women prefer being in front so that they can protect the little black child. So he don't go through that same thing. No, y'all leave him alone. He's weak. He's dumb. He's docile, but he's strong. He can play. He can run for you. Jump through hoops. He can shoot a basketball. He can play Super Bowl Sunday if you want him to. But anything outside of that, where he's in the control or leading something, no, he's too dumb for that. Just leave him alone. Go back to the article. It said he argued black women preferred.
Matriarchal families and their values contributed to disproportionately high rates of childbearing outside of marriage.
He said their values contributed to that. Their values. Go ahead.
In turn, black families without fathers led to larger social ills such as crime, joblessness, poverty, and overdependence on welfare. At the heart of the deterioration of the fabric of Negro society is the deterioration of the Negro family.
So the reason that we are on the bottom is because the family is jacked up. And some of us that even grew up with a father in the household, it wasn't according to God. It ain't how he wanted it to be. Daddy had 2-3 babies on the side somewhere. Mama slept in this room. Daddy slept in that room. Daddy was abusive. Mama cussed out daddy. Daddy just went to work and brought home the paycheck. Father never loved you. Father never showed you no affection. All of those stuff is wrapped up in a marriage. Father never showed your mama affection until he wanted some loving. That's the same way you do. You never saw them kiss or hold hands or anything like that. And if they did, it looked forced. You ever see the people that marriage people be kissing, married for, and it's like they gotta line up the lips as they go in, like they gotta find where the lips are. Let you know that thing ain't natural. They ain't kissed it so long, like make sure oh, there we go, right there. Telling you. So go to Hebrews 13:4. The deterioration of the black society is because the deterioration of the Negro family. A lot of that goes in to love language. Read that, Hebrews 13:4.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
So to rebuild that family that has been torn apart and destroyed through poverty and everything else that has been placed on us, we have to look at marriage in a different way. It has to become honorable to us. Honorable to us as a people, as just as it was to God. So honorable, that's the first thing he gave a man. Let me give you this wife. Read it again. Hebrews 13:4.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
Go to 1 Corinthians 7. Oh, yeah, we cooking. Yeah, we good. 1 Corinthians 7, read 32-33.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 32.
So in this honorable marriage, here's your thought process you got to have. And if you don't have this, you ain't ready. Read that.
But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord.
That's so you unmarried brothers, that's your job now is to put in work. Put in work for the Lord. Keep the commandments. Please the Lord by doing his will. That's your main focus right now. Please him. Read on.
But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife.
Now the things it changes up a little bit. You got some more responsibility. Read on.
There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit.
So look at that. That virgin just means it's an unmarried woman, because a lot of people always ask that question. They see virgin in the Bible. It's talking about just an unmarried woman. That's what it means. She careth for the things of the Lord. Read on.
That she may be both holy, both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband.
So while you're single, you have to purify your body as a sister. Please the Lord in keeping that sanctified and holy. But once you take on a husband, now things change again. So the main thing when you take on a husband or a wife, God says you got to know how to please each other. Godly, not based on the world standards of pleasing each other. It has to be pleasing each other godly. And that's a hard thing. A lot of us don't know how to do that. Go to that video, Love Language, and let's go to 1 minute and we're going to play up. That's the hardest part of being married. For a lot of brothers coming from out of the world into the truth is pleasing their wife godly. And it's the hardest thing for sisters, pleasing him godly. You just don't know how to do it because you ain't never been godly in your life. No fault against you, but you got to be willing to learn it and apply it. Go to that video. That's our girl, how you say her name? Iyanla Tresvant, whatever it is, she's good. Whatever she do, she good. Let's play that video. Let's listen.
You have already joined the R Spot Facebook community, and that you're getting support
That's at a minute.
and sharing your thoughts and ideas
Okay, go ahead.
about what we begin here over in that community. Our topic today is a very interesting one. It's one I've wanted to do for a while, and it's about love language. Back in 1995, now that was 23 years ago, Gary Chapman authored a groundbreaking book called The 5 Love Languages, where he described how people need or tend to demonstrate their love. Now, most of us growing up learn the love language of our parents, which then becomes our native love tongue. And later on, we may learn some additional languages, but usually, without much effort on our part, we have a specific love language.
Pause it right there. Now, that's the truth. Who's a child's first teacher, brothers? The parents. That's why a lot of your wives complain to us about you not being affectionate, because you learned it from your parents. That's why I say, even if you did grow up with parents in the house, it wasn't right. Because if it was, we wouldn't have no counsels at all. But we do. So it's got to be a change in learning how to love your wife right. Sister's the same way with you. Go back to it.
Or a way that we like to experience and express love.
I'm telling you right now, a lot of us going to get cut up. I'm telling you right now, so prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Examine yourself. Brothers, sisters, examine yourself. Single sisters, this is a perfect class for you too. Prove it. And you talking to a brother, you got to make sure that he knows about these love languages, right? It'll save you a lot of trouble. Let's go back to it.
Emotional love language and your partner's emotional love language may be as different as French and English, but it's important that you learn not only how you speak love or demonstrate love, but also how your partner does, because so seldom partners, they don't have the same love language. And then what happens is we become confused when our partner doesn't understand or respond to the love we're communicating. So that once you identify and learn to speak your partner's primary love language, you will have discovered the key to a lasting, healthy relationship. Now, I would also say that it's important for parents to learn their children's love language,
right.
Because unless you do, no matter what you do, the child could end up feeling unloved. And this is something that they'll take
pause
into
it right
their...
there. That's true about children, right? Because a lot of y'all got kids in here and you don't know your kids' love language. You're doing everything opposite of what shows them you love them, and then they grow up and be like, my daddy never told me he loved me. We got brothers in here like that. Got kids in there like that right now going through that. Daddy never showed me no affection. You didn't know his love. He lived in your house for 25 years, 20 years till you kicked him out. He didn't know his love language. He go out there on his own. He do the same thing to his kids. Repeats the cycle. Go back to it.
Adult relationships and probably never get satisfied. So let's take a look at the 5 love languages, or how people need to receive love. The first one is gifts. For some people, what makes them feel most love is to receive a tangible gift. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that the person is materialistic, but they're not meaningful or thoughtful. It just means that getting a present makes them feel loved and appreciated. Now, I don't need to receive a
Pause
gift,
it right there.
but my love.
Pause it right there. Now all the brothers like, damn, I gotta spend money. Oh Lord. It is better that a man be alone. Let's show you that giving gifts is nothing wrong with that, right? A lot of brothers don't give their wives gifts. Can't think of the last time you brought them something. Okay. Yeah, look, brothers up here trying to think like, dang, when is the last time? Been a while. Give me Esther 9:22. Nah, we don't. You know what? We don't give them gifts. We let them go shopping on their own. Nah, that ain't right. Brother, yeah, that's right. No, it ain't right.
Tell my bank account that. Tell Wells Fargo that.
100 stores going to look at the same thing twice. That thing will kill you, man.
Takes thought to give them a gift. Esther 9:22.
The book of Esther, chapter 9 and verse 22.
Show you about gifts.
As the days when the Jews rested from their enemies.
So this is Esther in the Bible, not the Apocrypha. Go ahead.
And the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning unto a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
Doing what?
And gifts to the poor.
So you read about our ancestors giving gifts one to another. There's nothing wrong with giving gifts. Go to what I got here, Proverbs 17:8. I got a bunch of precepts. Proverbs 17:8.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 8.
So let's go. We're going some gifts. These are precepts for gifts. So first love language is gift giving. Right? Now see, this is how you know that you slacked off when you was wicked and in the world. Every time February came around, you went to Walmart. You knew it's time to give a gift so I can get the goods. Now you got the goods and the scripture says you gotta give it up. You done stop giving the gifts. Oh man. Read that, man.
Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 8.
Proverbs 17 and 8.
A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth.
Read it again.
A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it.
So a gift is like a precious stone. It's like a ruby. It's like a diamond, sapphire. It's like that kind of precious stone. Read on.
He that covereth a transgression.
No, read verse 8 again.
A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth.
So wherever it turneth, meaning whoever you give that gift to, it prospers. Now we talking about love language in marriage. How does a gift prosper in a marriage? How? Because I need married brothers. I don't want none of these young brothers that still live in their mama house.
Married brothers, raise your hand. If you're married, raise your hand.
How does a gift, Yeshua, how does a gift prosper? Yeah. Let's see. How does a gift prosper?
It shows that you care about them.
Okay, it shows that you care. That's one way. Can anybody else? Who is that back here? Levi? Solomon? Solomon Levi.
It shows that you think about them.
Okay, that's what he just said. That's what he just said. Matthias, you said it in a different way. But that's what he said. It shows that you care.
A gift proffers, like when you buy her a gift, she start treating you good, better. She makes
like
food
that.
for you.
She's happy.
Yeah, she's happy.
If that's her love language. The sister's like, right, I don't care about no gifts. I don't need no gifts.
Hey, brother's been trying to do that since they came to the truth.
Yeah.
Still wicked.
What's wrong with her? She won't fall in line.
That's because that's not her love language.
Proverbs 19:6.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 6. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts.
So is every man, is somebody bringing you something that lets you know that they care about you, right? That you'll be their friend, even though that might not be your wife's love language. She still appreciates that you going out your way and taking your time to get that. She's still your friend. She still love you. He still love you, sisters. You get him a gift, although it ain't what he really want. He wants you to meet him when the sun go down. He still take that gift. He'll still be your friend. Read it. Go to Proverbs 21:14.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 14. A gift in secret pacifieth anger.
A gift in secret pacifieth anger. Brothers, the Lord is telling you how to end arguments. He's telling you how to end those arguments you got. Read it again.
A gift in secret pacifieth anger.
And it says in secret, meaning that you don't get a gift and then you wait for her or him to get in front of everybody and be like, I got you something, honey. Nah, you just doing that to be seen. You don't really care. That's fake. I'm still mad.
And you know how our bosses use this against us? Because you be on the verge about to quit. And they have a conversation with you, like, you know, you've been doing a lot of good work around here.
Yeah.
You know, just wait a couple of months, you get a raise.
Yeah.
And you like, oh, he my best friend now.
Yeah.
We good.
He's all right, man.
He's all right.
Yeah, a gift in secret will pacify anger. Read on.
And a reward in the bosom strong wrath.
It'll take away that strong wrath. Brothers, God is giving you some keys to have some peace and living joyfully with your wife. Women, he's giving you some keys to live joyfully with your husband. Right? Is that it on that? Go to Matthew chapter 7. Let's read in verse 11.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 11. If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children.
Give what?
Good gifts unto your children.
So you can give gifts to your children also. There's nothing wrong with giving gifts in the scripture. That's what I'm trying to convey to you. That was a common custom of us as a people, to give gifts one to another, okay? Let's go back to the video. Let's see if that's finished out on that.
Love language is gift giving. I'm a gift giver. I'll tell you more about that later. Second love language is quality time. Now, this language is all about giving the other person your undivided attention. You know, unlike words of affirmation. For the attention person, the quality time person, talk is cheap. They don't care what you say or how you say it. Their main focus is on you spending quality time with them.
Pause it.
They feel
now, brothers, this is a time, sisters, this is a time, examine yourself. What is your husband's, what is your wife's love language? Okay, maybe the gifts ain't been working. We still got problems in the house. Okay, well, let me see if it is quality time that I'm not speaking to her through love, with my love. Go to Sirach 17. Let's see about God and his quality time. Sirach chapter 17. Let's read 17 through 21.
The book of Sirach chapter 17 and verse 17.
That's Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha for you new brothers and sisters.
For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Israel is the Lord's portion. Yeah, he created everybody, but Israel is the one that he's worried about. This is who he's focused on spending what with, brothers? Quality time. There you go. Read on.
Whom, being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love doth not forsake him. Therefore all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before the Lord.
That's quality time. That's paying attention to the good and the bad that you do. He's not neglected. Read verse 21. It's going to show you.
Verse 21. But the Lord, being gracious and knowing his workmanship, neither left nor forsook them, but spared them.
That's quality time. Even in our captivity, even in our wrongdoings, even in our shortcomings, when we didn't even know God, he never forsook us, especially his elect. He's been dealing with you from the moment you popped out. Every single instance or action that has happened to you in your life was to lead you to here, to this moment in time, where he can bring you in and then spend even more quality time with you in building you up. Yeah, your daddy left. Yeah, your mama left. Yeah, you was done wrong by that dude. Yeah, that woman left you. Yeah, you didn't make it big. Yeah, you ain't hit the lottery. Yeah, you struggling. Yeah, you at this job. All of that was God taking quality time to make sure he set up the right steps to lead you here. Because the scriptures say the steps of a good man are what, brothers? Ordered by the Lord. That's quality time. I'm going to make sure every step you take in your life is going to lead you back to me because I want you. That's quality time. Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. Let's read 7 through 14. We're dealing with quality time.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Our fathers are in the Bible. That's Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Mark, Peter. That's our fathers, right? Read on.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
He separated the sons of Adam. Read on.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Uh-huh.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
Is his people. Read on.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
So the Lord made sure that we had a nice place to live. He made sure he picked out the best land. It got the best water. Look at all these mountains to view. Now, you know what? I was thinking maybe it's me just being simple. But when we was on the quest, we was going into all of these islands. What's the one thing that all them islands had in common? Who went on the quest? Pagiel, what's the one thing that all them islands had in common? Microphone.
The mountains.
The mountains. You read, what is it? The book of Judith, chapter 5. Yeah, you read all through the Bible. It always talks about mountains, the mountains of the Lord. Mountains. Who's these people that dwell in the hill country? It's me being simple. I was thinking like, dang, the Lord sent us over here in captivity and gave us a place that looked like home and reminded us of where we came from. Go to the islands. It's full of mountains everywhere. It's a beautiful sight to see the sun rising on those mountains.
Hey, and the means of income there is agriculture.
Yep, just
Same
like it
thing.
was back in the land,
Same thing.
farming. That's me being simple. Like, dang, the Lord gave us another homeland that looked just like where we came from. But this time, on this side, he oppressed us, isn't it? He oppressed us over here. Yeah. So read that, verse 10.
Verse 10. He found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness.
Now remember, we own quality time as a love language. Read on.
He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye.
What does that mean? What does that mean? He kept him as the apple of his eye. With the precepts that we just read. Officer Daniel, what does that mean? Kept him as the apple of his eye.
Meaning his main focus was Israel.
His
attention went to his people.
His attention was his people. Like it said in there, some sisters, some brothers' love language is your undivided attention. Is she the apple of your eye? Is he the apple of your eye? Or is it your job? Is that what you most focused on? Do you love your car more than you spend more time washing and waxing the wheels than you do with your wife? Brothers, that's one of our things. Sisters, do you spend more time in the beauty salon getting your nails done than you do? You come home from the nail salon, look all pretty, and then you don't even stop to ask your husband how you look. You worried about what other people think about you.
Hey, Cap, be looking pretty, but the house look dingy. Dirty. Still got last Sunday's dinner plates in the sink. And it's Sabbath.
Ain't took the dishes out the dishwasher.
But you dressed up nice though. You look good though, girl. Hey! But the kitchen, what's up with that?
What's up with that? But the Lord kept us as the apple of his eye. All his attention, his undivided attention has been focused on us from the jump. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Verse 11.
As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape.
So we had the best of the best things. Go to Ezekiel 16. You had the best things. The Lord made sure he gave you the best things with what he had. So sisters, brothers, the best that you can offer, give that to your spouse. Give the best of what you can. And you know what you could do. You know what you're capable of. Ezekiel 16, let's read 1 through 13 real quick.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith the Lord God unto Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother was an Hittite.
That's meaning that's where we got built up as a nation, right? Go ahead.
And as for thy nativity, in the day thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither wast thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all.
So that means that you still hung on to the ways of the other nation. You didn't separate from them completely. Read on.
None I pitied thee, to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee. But thou wast cast out in the open field, to the loathing of thy person, in the day that thou wast born.
Now look at this. No, everybody rejected you, O nation not desired. Nobody cared about you. You was out there doing bad all by yourself. And look what happens in verse 6.
And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee when thou wast in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee when thou wast in thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. Now when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee, and covered thy nakedness. Yea, I swear unto thee, and entered into a covenant with thee, saith the Lord God, and thou becamest mine.
So in order to know that, you needed something for your hair wasn't done right, your clothes was raggedy and all that means that the Lord was paying attention on a daily basis to what was needed for us as a nation. Read on.
Then washed I thee with water. Yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger's skin. And I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, man, the Most High is a husband that loves his wife. Decked her out. That's us, the nation of Israel. He decked us out. Read on.
And a chain on thy neck, And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. Thou wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen and silk and broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou wast exceedingly beautiful, and thou didst prosper into a kingdom.
Thou prospered into a kingdom. Now we're going to go back to the video. So that's a little bit of quality time, right? Those things take quality time. The Lord dressed us up how he wanted us to look. Brothers, you should be doing that with your wife. You should be looking at her when she go out the house. How her head wrap fixed on her head? What jewels she got on? Because ultimately when she leaves the house, who's she representing? Who? She walk around here look like Ain't She Mama. That's a woo. Who in here know what Ain't She Mama is? Who knows that? A lot of brothers, raise your hand if you know who Ain't Your Mama is. Okay, pull up the picture. Not enough brothers know. These women look like they still in the fields, a lot of them. Pull up the picture. A-U-N-T, Jemima is how you say it, but you know I'm Judah. Ain't Your Mama. I don't want, no. I don't want that. Go to the original. Nah, scroll down. Right there on the right, the far right, right there. That's a good one, yeah. Open that up. Right there. Keep going, zoom in. Auntie Mama since 1889. Some of y'all wives be walking around looking like that. Head wrap just thrown on. No design in it at all.
No, brothers, if that's how you like it, then all praises. All right. If you okay with that, that's how you like it. All praises.
All praises.
Sisters, if your husband like you like that, all praises.
Read the scriptures though. Yeah, disclaimer for the be like, see, Captain's car, so you got dressed up like it. Go back to the video. But the Lord expects you to be as beautiful as you possibly can. Don't dress down just because you lazy. No. Go back to the video.
Your undivided attention. You know, unlike words of affirmation, for the attention person, the quality time person, talk is cheap. They don't care what you say or how you say it. Their main focus is on you spending quality time with them. They feel satisfied and comforted by the time you spend with them. So distractions or postponed dates or the failure to really listen can be very, very hurtful to these individuals. You being there, them knowing that you support them, and spending quality time with that is absolutely crucial. Then there's the language of words of affirmation. I have one child. This is
here we go.
This is the language this is the love language that you affirm the other person, you encourage the other person, you say things to them, and they would prefer you speaking these words than any other thing. These are the people that need to hear, I love you.
Pause it.
And they need
go back to it. Let it play a little bit more. Run it back some.
This is his love language.
What? Damn,
this is the language this is the love language that you affirm the other person, you encourage the other person, you say things to them, and they would prefer you speaking these words than any other thing. These are the people that need to hear, I love you, and they need compliments.
Pause
this
it.
is what they value.
They need compliments. Sisters, brothers need compliments too. Right. You always want the compliments. Brothers need them too. How do you know that a woman wants a compliment from you? Married brothers, where you at? Let's see. Officer Shim, how do you know? Oh. How you know?
Well,
How you know that your wife wants a compliment from you?
she'll keep asking me my opinion. And then
Okay.
she'll stand in the mirror until I say something.
Okay, all praise. Anybody else? Any other brother?
I got one.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
This how I know my wife won't. What's it called? Affirmation.
Affirmation. Words of
When
affirmation.
I come home from work, and she been cooking,
Oh.
and you know me, I was raised Judah, so. The first thing we do when we get home, we go straight to the pot. We eat out the pot.
Picking it.
So yeah, hey man, y'all learn about that.
As they making the plate.
Learn your love language, man. So as soon as I go, I get me a spoon. I say, okay, what's for dinner? I go, I'm eating, I'm about to turn around and she looking right at me. She want to know.
Yeah. How it tastes.
I want to know.
Yeah.
All praises.
Got to know your wife's love language. Words of affirmation, right? Go to Proverbs 15:23. Proverbs 15 and 23. And this is one of the biggest problems that we have of speaking words of affirmation one to another in a marriage. We good at tearing each other down.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 23. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good is it?
So a word spoken in due season, how good is it? It's good to compliment your wife. Sisters, it's good to compliment your husband. Say something nice to them. Far too many times we ignore the good that we do, but the moment they do something bad, you immediately, see? I told you. Go ahead, man.
I knew you ain't gonna change.
Yep. Oh,
Brother been doing good for 2 years. He messed up one time. See, there it is.
Yep. We got
You see, I knew it. I knew it. It's still in you. Still a nigga.
Proverbs 16. Here we go. Verse 24. We're going to get to that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 24. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul.
Hold on. Read that again.
Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul.
Sweet to the soul. Read on.
And health to the bones.
They make you feel good. Pleasant words make you feel good.
I'm telling you, that sure enough. And we talked about this last night where, brothers, I'm gonna help you out. On the spot recognition.
On the spot, yeah.
Get it over. As soon as you hear the plates moving, the stove cooking, damn, what's that smell? I know something boiling. Oh, man, you know what it like. Even my wife, she'll call me up. She'll know exactly what time I go to lunch. She'll just call me out of the blue, start talking random stuff. She wants to know how the food tastes. Off rip. I know my wife. That's how you know. Yeah. She wants to know, how did the food taste? But without actually asking that question.
Yeah.
So I'll be eating right away. As soon as I'm eating, damn, I wish I had more. On the spot recognition. That's something that our oppressors use.
Dang, I knew I should have gave you more.
I
know it.
Yeah. I just wanted to know if you liked it or not. No.
Read that again, man. Verse 24.
Verse 24. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones.
Health to the bones. We got to work on those pleasant words in our marriage. Far too often we do this. Proverbs 16:27.
Hey, that's just like Cap. Brothers here, soldiers and the most thing that we focus on is really the Lord's work. How many of the sisters actually go to the Lord and be like, you taught that, I saw your street teaching.
You brought
I
it
loved it. Do you know what that would do?
Yeah.
I'll go to the moon. Just to get you a speckle from the moon. Right. Just because you encouraged me. A moonstone.
Yeah.
Galaxy Rose. Hey, that brother deep.
That's a part of knowing love language. What is he most interested in? And then you find them pleasant words to encourage him in that. Same thing, you husbands, with your wife. Read that, Proverbs 16:27.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 27.
But this is what happens.
An ungodly man
woman
diggeth up evil.
You constantly bring up the past.
And in his lips there is as a burning fire.
Ooh, That's what we do far too many times in our relationships, in our marriages. There are no affirmation, no positive affirmations. There's always some ungodly evil that we dig up, throwing it in our face. And go back to the video. I'm gonna show you what happens when you do that type of stuff. Go to the video. She's gonna explain it.
For you speaking these words than any other thing. These are the people that need to hear, I love you. And they need compliments. This is what they value, because words hold a real value for them. Now, with these people, you have to be careful, because negative or insulting comments cut deep. Woo! And usually it's very hard for them to forgive.
Pause it.
Next, there is...
You see that? She hit it right on the head. If this is the love language that your husband or your wife needs, you better be careful about digging up some ungodly evil on them, because they will never forget it. Oh, they will hold a resentment against you for months, ration it out to you. You know what I'm talking about. Stomach hurt all the time, head hurt all the time. The husband always going to camp, always passing out flyers. Because you digging up that ungodly evil, that way that he needs love from you or she needs love from you. Now you done betrayed it. You done hurt their feelings, and they hold on to it for ages, for months. Go to Galatians 5:15. This is what God says is happening.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 15. But if ye bite and devour one another,
that's what you doing.
Take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
You will destroy each other. You're going to destroy each other's spirit. So much to the point that your husband, he might not show up in here no more. You barely got him through the doors because he didn't believe, you did. And now you turn back into that old ungodly woman. You destroy his spirit. He just left. He gone. I won't be in here no more. Same thing with the woman. Keep putting up with your mess being in here to the point like, I'm not going in there because you ain't truly changed. You still talking to her crazy. You biting and devouring and destroying each other. Give me the precept on words in Sirach. Give me that. Yep. Sirach chapter 28. We're going to read, let's read verse 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones.
It breaks the bones. Words are powerful. Read it. Read on.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue.
The tongue. The tongue. The tongue. It can be used for good. It can be used for evil. But we need to work on how to use it for good, and a lot of us don't know how to do that. I guarantee you, if we really dived into your life and asked you how much do you really compliment your spouse during a week, once, indirectly, I might say the food is good. That's about it. You don't speak words of affirmation to build each other's spirit up, but you'll tear each other down. Exhortation is what it is. You'll tear each other down when you can. Quick to get mad at each other. Go back to the video. Go back to the video. Let's play that.
And usually it's very hard for them to forgive. Next, there is the acts of service. When your partner speaks this love language, your actions speak louder than your words. You may never tell them you love them, but if you help them with a project, if you help them get something done, they will love you forever. They want you to know that they're having a hard time.
Pause it. Now, brothers, I'm gonna let you know. A lot of you, your wives, their love language is an act of service. They would love for you to pick up a vacuum and vacuum the floor, or help wash the dishes one day. Something they would love you. Watch the kids, right? They would love you. You do that for them, they be ready to give you a hug and a kiss when you come through the doors. A lot of them, that's what it is, because they do that so much, they want a break from it sometimes, right? Go back to the video.
They want you there for them. So lending a hand shows that you really care. These people, they can't take a broken promise. And any level of perceived laziness, they have no tolerance for it. Basically, if you're not willing to show your appreciation by doing them a favor, they are not going to value you.
Pause it.
I think the...
Yeah, it is true. That's why we doing love language. You got to figure it out. Which one is it?
I'm telling you, and sisters too, this goes for you. You know how men have dreams. We all have a dream, right? Meaning they have goals that, I have a good adventure, I have this business plan. Sisters, if you know that's the love language of your Lord, you need to make sure, okay, let me help you. Let me go ahead and research this thing, because most of the men won't do the footwork. We hate doing the research behind those things. We have these high dreams, these goals to make it rich, or whatever it is to be successful. But then afterwards, instead of building them up, helping them with the project, or helping them with that goal, you just destroy them. No. You destroy him, tell him to stick to his 9 to 5. You don't help him, don't do the footwork for him.
You say you're lazy. You really don't want that.
There you go. There you go. You're jumping from project to project. Stay focused. No. Help the brother out. Help him
the
out.
one person it would mean the most to, for them to be encouraged by, their wife, but they don't get it from them.
Yeah.
And that's what hurts the most.
Yep. Go to 1 Samuel 2 and 3. Acts of service.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 3. Talk no more exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth.
That arrogancy and that proudly is, I help you do that when I get home. Then you get home, you go straight to sleep on them. Oh yeah, I help. I clean. I'll pick it up. I'll do it when I get home, and then it be sitting there for weeks. Go ahead.
For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
So some of us, our spouses, they weigh us by our actions. That's how you got them in the first place. You was doing all kind of stuff for them to get them. Then you got them, and you was like, I'm done with that. You're stuck. You're bound by the law. You're bound by the law.
Hey, that even goes into the proven brothers and sisters as well. If you see something that that's displeasing to you, and you told the brother, the sister, this is what I see. I don't like it. God says action is weighed. He gonna let you, or she gonna let you know if she's really or he that interested in you.
Right.
If they gonna apply, if they gonna try to change because they know that's your love language, that you want to see this in that person, God says actions are weighed. So if that brother or sister ain't changing to that language, trying to understand your language, you need to move on. You need to move on.
Because if that is the language they are speaking to you through their actions now, it'll be even worse when you get together. It is not going to improve. Not going to be no magic like they're going to turn on into a action of service man or woman. It's not going to work. They ain't going to do it. This is who they are. The person that you are proving, that's who they are right now. That's who they going to be. The only change you might see in them is they'll put in work when it comes to the Lord. But you going to suffer. 2 Ezra chapter 1, 9 through 17. Read that quick because that's a lot.
2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1.
Acts of service.
He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs
2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 9 through 17. 2 Ezra 1, 9 through 17.
2 Ezra chapter 1 and verse 9. How long shall I forbear them unto whom I have done so much good? Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them. And in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces, even of Tyrus and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies. Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, thus saith the Lord, I led you through the sea, and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage. I gave you Moses for a leader, and Aaron for the priest. I gave you light and a pillar of fire, and great wonders have I done among you. Yet have ye forgotten me, saith the Lord.
Look at that. So the Lord laid out his acts of service that he done for us, and then on the back he said, you forgot about me. Now I know husbands, we can't beat around the bush. We know that our wives do a whole lot for us, and often we forget about them on the back end. And to the point where it blows up on it, they well up. They've been holding up so long that it blows up into an argument. We forget a lot of times. Say it on the mic, Cap.
I'll tell you, you don't appreciate me.
That's what they say.
I do everything for you. You don't appreciate nothing I do.
Yep. God gonna say that here. Read on.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, the quails were as a token for you.
I cooked for you.
I gave you tents for your safeguard.
I watched over you.
Nevertheless, ye murmured there.
When you were sick, you didn't want this medicine. Go ahead.
And triumph not in my name for the destruction of your enemies. But ever to this day do ye yet murmur.
It's never good enough for you. I can never do good enough for you. You still murmuring. Read on.
Where are the benefits that I have done for you?
What is it? Read that again.
Where are the benefits that I have done for you?
God is saying there should be some reciprocation. I know it's a big word, but that means that if I do something for you, acts of service, then I should get some acts of service back too. You really want to see my ugly side? Watch it. You keep doing all this stuff for you. You don't do nothing for me. Only time you want to show some reciprocation is when you want me to meet you in the bedroom. Why? You gonna see my ugly side? Where's the reciprocation? Where's the gratitude? Read that again.
Where are the benefits that I have done for you? When you were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did ye not cry unto me?
I'm hungry. Why? Fix something to eat. Where's the reciprocation? Take it out to eat sometimes. Where's that at? Wives, take your husbands out to eat sometimes. Yeah, they don't want to do that. When the last time you came up with the idea, let's go out to eat, baby? I'm going to take you on a date.
When's the last time you were spontaneous?
Right. Message. Go back to that. We almost finished here. Go back to the video. Here's the main one.
Basically, if you're not willing to show your appreciation by doing them a favor, they are not going to value you. I think the acts of service people sometimes are the hardest to demonstrate love to, because you've always got to be doing something that lets them know you're there. Then you have your physical touch people.
Uh-oh.
Now, nothing speaks more deeply for these people than a physical touch. Now, it doesn't mean that it's got to be in the bedroom. But everyday physical connections like hand holding and kissing and reaffirming and
y'all, come on, brothers. Y'all already know. Come on. I know y'all.
Hey, Cat, one thing I learned, like you always say, hey, sometimes your wife want to learn, hold your hand when you walk. I tell you that I hated it. It's some reason why I hate it.
A lot of us do.
But it's
short. That's why.
That's why. My wife is pretty tall. Me holding hand look like she walking me across the street. Yeah, I'll be real. I didn't like it. And then sometimes I looked at my wife, she enjoyed it.
She enjoys it.
And guess what? I got reward. I got a reward, brother.
She loves it.
So I learned.
You know your wife's love language.
Yeah.
All
I think Cat knows.
Go to Genesis chapter 26. Genesis 26 and 6. Hey, man, but you know your wife's love language. That's good. Less arguments. You living joyfully.
The book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 6. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, she is my sister.
So he lied because his wife is beautiful, right? She's beautiful. So he lied. She said, no, she's my sister. Read on.
For he feared to say, she is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon.
Now read that next verse.
And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out at a window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife.
He was sporting. Now watch this. Read verse 9. I'm just going to show you what kind of sporting he was doing. Read that.
Verse 9. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, behold, of a surety she is thy wife.
Hey, no doubt, man. That ain't your sister.
Right,
The way you filling up on her.
You don't grab no sister
No,
like that.
man. That physical touch, that ain't your sister right there, dog. What's going on here? Somebody ain't telling the truth. He said, for sure, that's your wife where you touched her at. The way y'all messing around, physically touching each other, brother and sister don't do that. That's some perv stuff. That's your wife, dog. Hey, read it again.
And Abimelech called Isaac and said, behold, of a surety she is thy wife.
Uh-huh.
And how saidest thou, she is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, because I said, lest I die for her.
Oh, lest I die, I had to say, look at her. You wouldn't be doing this if you... Y'all gonna kill me for her.
Wrestling with each other.
Yeah, they was doing something that made him like, hey, dog, that's your wife, man.
Him Brock Lesnar moves.
That touch y'all got is more than a sister, man. Go to that, pull up the article of the 5 love languages. So Isaac didn't have a problem with physical touch with his wife. Your forefather. Pull up the article. The 5 love languages. Zoom in on it, because I want to harp on this physical touch, because a lot of the sisters, their love language is physical. It might be some other things mingled in there, but some of them, the highest one on that may be physical touch. And a lot of you brothers, some of you sisters, just ain't affectionate enough. Go to it.
Physical touch. This language isn't all about the bedroom.
So, and that's a lot of times where we only show the physical touch. It's in the bedroom. They need more than that. Men sometimes need more than that too. Let's go show it. Go ahead.
A person whose primary language is physical touch is, not surprisingly, very touchy. Hugs, pats on the back, holding hands, and thoughtful touches on the arm, shoulder, or face, they can all be ways to show excitement, concern, care, and love. Physical presence and accessibility are crucial, while neglect or abuse can be unforgivable and destructive. Physical touch fosters a sense of security and belonging in any relationship.
So that physical touch with your wife or with your husband lets you know that you care about them. I'm yours. You mine. Nobody else. I tell you right now, I be in the house just walking. So I know I grab her, bring her in, and just smooch on her.
Smooch. Nobody use smooch.
That's
Cap.
what I do.
Come on, Cap.
That's my love language.
That's like some 90-year-old talk. I'm gonna smooch on you tonight.
You forgot, man, they use pop for soda, man.
Yeah, that's some 90-year-old talk, man.
I don't care.
Smooch.
Hey, Cap,
All praises, all praises.
Hey, I'm saying dog.
Hey, sit down, Mama.
That's another smooch.
All praises.
I came
Hey, make sure you don't say
That's right. Bring it out,
Smooch
man.
right there.
Bring it out.
I came in the right
Bring it out.
moment,
Bring
man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bring it out.
Can I
Here's a
add
smooch. They
something
play the
to
violin.
that?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bring it out.
Give me that scripture on benevolence. Did you bring it out already, Cap?
Nah, I ain't break it out.
All right, let's bring it up because go back to that
Article.
that article, because when we read the scriptures on Jew benevolence, we often, like Cap said, we immediately go to, sex. But when you understand the purpose of Jew benevolence, it also goes into you preparing that sister's mind that you're leading her up to the thing that man wants. And a lot of times we use that scripture wrong. We says, because I want it, you have to give it to me.
Yeah.
And we don't do that. What the article says, touching,
Hugging,
kissing, holding hands. We think that's kind of like effeminate. You got a scripture ready? 1 Corinthians 8:7.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence.
So when you look up that word benevolence, it talks about doing something nice. It doesn't say sex.
Right.
It says doing something nice. So that could be a massage. It could be a hug.
Yep.
It could be holding hands.
Hey, you
It
know
could be a
that's
walk
true.
on the beach.
You know that's true because eventually one of y'all stuff gonna stop working. Eventually your stuff gonna stop working. Right. So does that mean we don't read that scripture no more?
Right.
Your stuff gonna stop working. So that lets you know that due benevolence is other things.
Yes.
Right. So it says render unto her due, mean that is something that is due to her, and she does the same thing to you.
Yeah, like you said, massage, right? Sometimes, brothers always want a massage coming. Hard day at work. Maybe, hey, your wife is home doing all the work. Sometimes she need a massage too.
I like
Think about each other.
I like it. If that's her love language, you gotta know it. Go to the next article, the physical touch, a language of love. Go to that real quick, because headquarters is about to come on. I want to get through this.
The physical touch, a language of love.
Read it quick.
What role does tactile physical touch play in a healthy, loving relationship? A very powerful one, according to Dr. Gary Chapman, author of the best-selling book, The 5 Love Languages. Physical touch is only one of the 5 ways people communicate and receive emotional love. And some people speak it more loudly than others.
Read on.
Physical touch is healthy.
Now look at this. It's healthy. Physical touch is healthy. Read. Go back to it. Read it.
The benefits of physical touch have been extensively studied in the world of science and health.
Extensively studied. Extensively studied. Read.
Findings show that the therapeutic touch is successful in managing fibromyalgia.
Fibromyalgia is something that a lot of women suffer from. It's like nerves running through your whole body that cause pain, right? Go ahead.
And reduces symptoms in Alzheimer patients. Skin-to-skin contact between babies and mothers is so beneficial to the baby's health that it is now a common hospital practice for premature babies.
The baby come out. Skin to skin, it needs to feel you so it can feel safe about itself. The bond, right? Go to wherever the next part was.
It was so important where it was one baby who was didn't come out breathing, and as soon as the mother held the baby, it came back to life.
Dang.
That's how serious it was.
Revive the spirit, right? Go back to that. Let's read that. The importance of physical.
The importance of physical touch in marriage may also play a medicinal role, since touch has been shown to reduce stress and relieve pain. A healthy relationship, which includes physical contact between a husband and wife, can be the most bonding, emotionally intimate experience in life.
Woo, that's it on that. I don't know more. That's what God said. You find a wife, you find favor from the Lord, man. Your life gonna be a lot easier, but you got to initiate the contact, brothers, other than just being in the bedroom all the time.
You know what else, Cap? After this class, I think we all should sit down and have that conversation.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Husbands and wives, sit down and have a conversation. What's your love language? Tell me so I can work on it.
Yep. And I'm gonna post the link to take the quiz that it got, so you can find out what it is between y'all. So you can make even if it's good, you can make it better.
Don't be that prideful brother, that prideful sister. Yeah. Don't let your pride overtake the fact that y'all gotta sit down and talk about this.
Or don't let the uncomfortability of you not knowing or was raised that way keep you from having a successful marriage. You don't know how to give affection because you ain't never receive it, so you don't put yourself in that position to do it. You just stay comfortable where you at while your marriage is being destroyed around you, because that's what your spouse wants. But you ain't giving it to him. Go ahead, Officer Leon.
Like you were saying, that's one of the classes that we brought. The quality, spending time with them. That's how you get to find out. All right, babe, what do you like? What's your stuff? That's what quality. What she wants. What you want. Believe it or not, you don't always want. I tell you now, I don't always want to talk to brothers all day. I want to talk to my wife sometime. Want to have some affection. That's what brothers need. That's what I want. Yeah. I go talk to my wife. Some of you brothers got to have some quality time with your spouse.
Hey, sisters, I'm going to tell y'all something. We men, we're pretty simple as hell. Yeah. We simple. Our love language is one language. You only got to learn English. That's it. You speak English and love, we good. Brothers, be prepared. It might be a few languages. Might be some Dutch.
That's why I said it.
Might be some Hebrew. Yeah. Might be some Creole in there. Just be prepared, but just don't have the pride not to ask. Yeah. And if you don't know how to speak that language, what are you supposed to do? Get counsel.
There you go. 1 Peter 3:17. You got something?
No.
1 Peter 3:17. 3:7, real quick. 1 Peter 3 and 7. We're about to wrap it up. 1 Peter 3 and 7.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
So it's why you man, it's your job to dwell with your wife according to knowledge. It's the 5 main things when it comes to love language between a marriage, a man and a woman. Dwell with them according to knowledge, like Officer Leon was saying. Quality time is one of them. Sit down during that quality time and find out. Maybe you ain't. Maybe wives. He can't see the damn forest because he's blinded by the trees. Okay, he don't pick up on signals that good. You might have to sit him down like, baby, I like gifts. I need your quality time. Okay, I got it. Boom, there we go. That's it.
I'm telling you, hey, that's how a lot of men learn.
I'm telling you,
that's how we learn.
Hey, that's one of the simple ways, like Captain Gadget said.
I don't like surprises.
Just be simple. Just
tell me.
Let me know what you like.
Right.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, okay. Now we can build on that. Don't be sending me similitudes, parables, and metaphors, and similes, and.
Hey, listen.
He said smoke signals.
Hey, I'm telling you, my wife would send me what she want with the link attached.
Right.
With the link attached.
Amazon.
With a coupon right next to it.
You checked your Telegram yet?
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you.
And you know, our women know our schedule. And you know, we always occupy with the Lord's work. Sisters, you know he's free on this day. Make a reservation. Because then we know you already paid. I got to go now.
Yeah.
So, hey, make reservations.
Go ahead,
all right?
officer.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing real quick. Because all the points we're bringing out is great. But if we don't implement them, we will never age together with our wife.
Yep.
And your wife will never age with you. These points, that we just can't make it into a comedy thing. You actually have to take time, schedule time, and apply it.
Yep. So we read that in husbands, find out what your wife's love language is, right? Genesis 3:16.
The book of Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Because of the sin, go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
So wives, know your husband's desires. Know his desires. Don't, what's that thing? Don't be a part of that thing of, what they say, that man from... whatever they say in the world. Don't be in the opposite damn hemisphere from your husband.
Or believe in happy wife, happy life.
Right. Your desire should be to your husband. Know his desires. That's your job of being a help meet to him.
Hey, one thing I was telling the brothers yesterday, sisters, you know your husband overweight. Brothers, you know your wife, both of y'all overweight. Go to the gym together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell that. Hey, that thing, I'm telling that thing sparking. Whoo, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Take your wife to the gym with you. Yeah, you'll see how life changed for you.
Yeah.
Sisters, go to the gym with your husband. You'll see how life changed for you.
Yeah. Be looking at you a different way. I'm telling you that.
Jesus.
Now. Jesus. Sirach chapter 40, verse 23. Sirach 40:23. Read that.
The book of Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 40 and verse 23. A friend and companion never meet amiss. But above both is a wife with her husband.
A wife with her husband. They are on one accord. You know her love language. She knows your love language. And y'all two are dwelling together in unity, living joyfully because y'all on one accord. God says y'all should never meet amiss. Y'all should be y'all should be better than friends, best of friends. For this reason, Sirach 25 and 1.
Sirach chapter 25 and verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before God and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
So God put you together. He put you with that woman and put you with that man, and he wants it to be beautiful all the days of your life. That is beautiful before the Most High, that y'all agree in one mind. So take the time to learn each other, and don't be in the midst of it's 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line and you still don't know each other's love language. All the problems you have before that, learn each other. All right.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.